Now, I think a couple of weeks ago, I showed you a video of my entire revolver collection. So I guess it's only befitting that I show you a video of my entire semi-automatic collection. Now, I don't have a whole lot of them. I think it's about 13 total. At least now it's only about 13 total since I've moved on or sold a couple of them. But it's like one of my favorite YouTube channels always say, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So he always stresses quality over quantity. And that's my YouTube friend, the Black Gunsmith, 686629. And if you're not familiar with that brother, you need to check his channel out because he really has some very nice high quality firearms like that he like to showcase. That is the Black Gunsmith, 686629. All right, first, not going in any particular order, but this is my Smith & Wesson model 4506. It's not the -1, it's the original 4506. You can tell because it's got a step on the frame. This is a 45 ACP semi-automatic handgun. As you can see, it's got some really nice sights on it. I really like that sight design, and I like this square frame, especially trigger guard, more than I do the 4506-1. But this gun is a single stack, 8-round capacity magazine plus 1 in the chamber. These were discontinued, I think, back in the mid 80s or early part of the 90s. But this is one of the guns that Denzel carried in the movie Training Day, and I think it also has some TV exposure with The Shield and Miami Vice. Really nice handgun. Right here is my tribute to the United States military. This is my Beretta M9. This was the designated sidearm for the U.S. military for, I think, about 25 years. It's a really nice gun. It is the military version of the Beretta 92 FS. It has some slight differences, but all in all together, they're the exact same gun. It's a really nice gun. It's got this 2-dot sight system where the 92 FS has a 3-dot sight. And there's a couple other differences, but not anything significant. All right, here is one of my favorite platforms. This is the Smith & Wesson M&P series. Now, this is an M&P 40. It's not the 2.0. This is the original M&P with all its design issues and problems that people say weren't that good. Specifically, the slickness or the lack of grip ability in the grips, and what some say is a crappy trigger. I personally don't mind the trigger. I think it's like anything else, you learn it. But like I said, it's one of my favorite platforms. I love the sights on these guns. I love the grip angle. I love the comfort of the grip. And they're extremely dependable, very reliable guns. And I enjoy shooting them. Let's see, next is my Sig P227. Now, this is a 45 ACP gun. Sig discontinued making these. This gun was basically made to give you a little bit more extra rounds when you upgrade it, if you want to call it that, from the Sig P220, which was a single stack, 8-round capacity plus 1 gun. This one is a staggered stack, and it's not double, it's staggered, but it has the same grip width as a P226. But this gun, you get 10 rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber, which gives you a working capacity of about 11 rounds. But it's the exact same gun as the P226, except it's chambered in 45. Sig discontinued this gun. Apparently it wasn't very popular. I don't know if they didn't sell many or what, but it is a great gun. And if you like the P226, you're going to love the P227. Okay, this is my Taurus PT92 AFS. If you remember, I had a PT100, which is the exact same gun, except the 92 AFS is chambered for 9mm. It's a beautiful gun. It is not a clone of the Beretta 92, but they're really kind of like the same guns, except made at different factories. One by Taurus, the other one by Beretta. This is a great gun. I enjoyed shooting it. This is another Sig P-Series handgun. This is the Sig P226. And like I stated before, it's the exact same gun as a 227, except this is a later version. You can tell by the grips that they put on them. But this is a earlier version. It doesn't have a rail on it, so it's real early. This one's chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. It's a great shooting gun. It has a 2-dot sights, which is the same kind as what's on the Beretta M9. And I've replaced the trigger on this gun. I put what they call the SRT trigger. Now, they make two versions of the SRT. One is a short reset trigger, and the other one is a short reach trigger. This one is the short reset trigger. Makes this gun a lot more pleasant to shoot, especially in terms of if you want to get a quick follow-up shot, because the trigger reset is a lot shorter. I love shooting this gun. And unlike a lot of 40 caliber guns that you hear a lot of people talk about how snappy they are, this gun doesn't have a lot of snap to it, just because of maybe just the heft of it, but it kind of tames that 40 S&W round very well. Okay, now this is a recent purchase. This is my CZ P10F. You've seen a video I made about this gun. I'm not going to talk a lot about it, except check that video out. But this is an awesome gun. There's a couple of things about it that I wish were better, but there's nothing about it that I don't like. This is a great shooter. I love shooting it, and I can't wait to get it out and put some more rounds through it. Let's see, this is one of the nicest looking guns in my collection. This is, again, a CZ. This is my CZ75B in polished stainless steel with a nice pair of aftermarket wooden grips on it. This gun is just absolutely awesome in appearance and in functionality. I love shooting this gun. It's got a natural feel to it. It just feels just natural in your hand. The grip angle on it is great. The ergonomics on it is great. Sights, trigger, everything. Just a wonderful gun. Now this is a gun. I think this is the oldest semi-automatic. Matter of fact, I know this is. This is the oldest semi-automatic in my collection. Now this is EAA Witness 40 by Tanfoglio. Now this is a gun was made on the CZ75 platform. If you don't know anything about them, they made so that the frame, the slide rides inside the frame rails, which gives you a much lower bore axis. This gun, I've shot this gun more than any gun in my collection. And I can tell you, I've got thousands upon thousands of rounds through this gun. And it just works. This one's chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. And it just works. It's got a great trigger. The brake on it is just so smooth. And the reset is very short. And the gun it just runs and runs and runs and runs. It's not a good carry gun because it's an all steel gun and it's heavy, but man, does it run. And it has absolutely no recoil. I'm gonna miss this gun, but I am, just like the rest of them, gonna be eventually moving on from it. Now, this isn't the original finish. The gun was done in some polycoat black or whatever they called it. And over time, it just wore away. So I had it refinished in sort of a semi-gloss Cerakote black. And I think it looks better than it did when it was new. And these are the original grips on it. The original sights and everything. But this is just a great gun. It's old, it's heavy, it doesn't have any kind of modern features about it. But boy, I tell you, it's still a great gun. So we're back on the M&P. Now, this is the first M&P that I ever owned. This is the M&P 45. This is the original M&P. Now, a lot of people call it a 1.0. I call it the original M&P. This one has a thumb safety. Kind of wish it didn't have it, but you know, I bought it with one. Now I know you can remove them, but I can't stand that little ugly void that it leaves, so I'm just gonna leave it in place. This one's done in 45 ACP. It has 10 round plus 1 capacity. It does have the same issues that a lot of people hated about the original M&P. But it's a great gun, and I've shot thousands of rounds through this one and have never had a hiccup. So if you can find these original M&Ps, and I'm telling you, they sell them for great prices. If you want to add to your collection without spending a lot of money and still get a great gun, I encourage you, man, go out there and find you one of these original M&Ps, because they are really nice guns. Let's see, something that I just added out of a kind of more of a curiosity is this Tac TP90 SF. And I actually rented one of these and shot it at the local range, and I really like the gun. They're relatively inexpensive, but they're such cool guns. The ergonomics on them is just phenomenal, and the gun fits really good in hand. This one's done in what they call titanium gray, and it's a beautiful gun, and it really shoots very well. I'm going to do a video on this one soon, just talking about it, maybe show some shooting footage, but it's a cool gun. You can get one of these for somewhere in the $400-ish range, but it's a very high quality gun, especially for the price you pay for it. Check them out. Tac TP90 SF. You've seen me talk about this one before. This is one of my last editions. This is my Walther PDP, and wow, man, this gun here is amazing. I love this gun. The trigger is fantastic. The ergonomics is fantastic. The grip is fantastic. Everything about this gun was great. And my first time out with it, I just enjoyed it thoroughly. And I can't wait to get it, take some time and take it to the range again. I think what I would like to do is I'd like to make a comparison between this Walther and this CZ P10F. I think that'd be an interesting video. Maybe a benchtop comparison as well as a shooting comparison. I'm gonna put that on my list of things to make a video about. I plan on keeping both of these guns for a long time because I just recently bought them, and so I got plenty of time to do that. And last but no means least, this is an FN FNS9. Now, I did a video on this gun, I think one time, it was a long time ago, but I've had this gun for, I don't know, maybe 10 plus years, and it's been my EDC ever since I've owned it. And there's a reason why. Okay, this gun is just absolutely fantastic. If you don't have one and you can find one, I encourage you to try one out. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm telling you, if you can get your hands on one where you can try it, just try it. Everything about this gun is great. And I mean that. The grip, all of the ergonomics, it's pretty much a 100% ambidextrous gun. The trigger on it is fantastic. The factory sights are awesome. The build quality is amazing. It has great looks. Because this is my EDC, I've run I know several thousand rounds through this gun because I like to stay practiced up with it. And I cannot recall not one time have I had any hiccup with this gun. With any kind of ammo that I put through it, including the hollow points. I think it's one of those guns that kind of slipped through the cracks that a lot of people didn't talk about. But in my opinion, it is the best gun, the best handgun that FNS has made. This is a great gun, and if you can find one, just try one out. I'll be willing to bet you'll like it. FNS doesn't make them anymore, so you're going to find them either used on a secondary market somewhere, but it is truly a great gun. Okay, that's my entire semi-automatic collection as it stands right now. And I'm going to be reducing it down over time, but boy, am I going to be enjoying putting some rounds down range before I do. But until the next time, thanks for watching.